Hello, my name is Elliot Anderson, and today we're talking about media biases.
What a wonderful topic to talk about, isn't it?
Yes, it is a wonderful topic to talk about. I bet you and most people don't even know about it.
Not really, Elliot. Why don't you tell us what it is?
Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Media bias is bias in journalism and also the way news is presented and other such.
So you're telling us that it's the news station's fault for being...
Not exactly. It's just people who run them and write the articles that the newscasters say. That and they also spring a little bit of how dare you into it. According to the article Media Bias by the Investor Business Daily, the section labeled Media Bias Data Doesn't Lie, a long-term study of reporters has shown a drift towards liberalism. It's been going on for several years now. In 1971, Republicans made up 25.7%. Democrats were about 35.5%, and independents made up 32.5%. Some 6.3% of responses were other. The last survey shared journalists identifying as Republican has shrunk to 7.1%, and it is an 18.6% drop from the original study. Today, Democrats outnumber Republicans 4-1. Journalists are calling themselves independents have surged to 51.2%. And in case you think that independents are more center-leading, they have been shown to be more moderate left to center on some issues, about some issues on financial and government. That's why they should be characterized instead of as moderately left as independent to moderately left. This is a media bias chart, and left of the neutral zone is Democrat or left-wing news sites. And to the right of the neutral zone is a more right-wing or a Republican. In each of these bars has different columns of forms of news. Labeled in the neutral zone are people who will give you the actual news, what's going on, with maybe no bias, or maybe a slight bias. Everything to the left of this is biased to the left, to the right is biased to the right. So, some news sites that are biased to the left are like CNN, BuzzFeed, and The Guardian. They're politically left-leaning, so if you take everything that they say with a grain of salt.
But what are news stations leaning to the right?
I'm getting there, Gilbert, you fucking piece of shit. All right. To the right of this area, we got Fox News, ONN, and the Wall Street Journal, just a few to name to the right. The reason why this is a problem is because, well, when you have media biases, you're not getting the actual news. When they could be making up garbage about a certain political president that we have right now. Or they could be talking about supporting a domestic terrorist group. Or it could be something where they're bashing a certain area. That's why whenever there is you have to look for media biases and call them out on it. Let's see what this media bias is like. I hope it'll be a fun experience for everyone. Breaking news! This man over here, yeah, he had a post. It went viral again. Look at him, smug bag. Okay, this is his post. So much for global warming. 60% of the country is experiencing record lows. Did you hear this, man? Bullshit, that's what that is, my friend. I've seen better lives from a 3-year-old. These are the kind of things that cause media bias. Is that right there?
That makes sense, but how are they biased?
Well, my friend, there are two types. All right, there are two of the 6 types of media biases according to MediaBias.com. They have bias by placement, where they basically what they do is they place something like how a candidate can be biased. Like let's say we have candidate Gilbert over here forgetting his lines, candidate Anderson over here who can't seem to speak today, and then the ass over here. All right, so let's say Gilbert, the person who can't remember his darn lines, has 33,000 votes. Elliot over here, the smug that he is, only has 22,000 votes. But the media company over here doesn't like the Mr. over here, so what they do with them, he may have 40,000 votes, but they put him at the back so everyone thinks he's losing and doesn't vote for them. All right. Then they have bias by selection of sources. Many newspapers and online forums like BuzzFeed and some other Guardian stuff like that, what they do is they go on, they find fake news about things, and I'm meaning that quite literally. Fake news, you know. All right. And they find it and they repost it till it's true. I don't have an example of this, but yeah. Some car commercials or whatever, they like to be biased about their car. They show you a graph or a bar graph or whatever that has 95, 80, 100, 95, 80, something like that. And it's so small where it makes a drastic gap. But then, if you extend the graph out, it doesn't matter what car you choose. Well, that's all the time we have here, folks. At least now you're more educated about where to get your news and about how to bias it. Well, see you later. Hi, Gilbert. Oh, God, he's still recording. Cut! Behind the scenes!